Good evening, music lovers worldwide. This is KCOS digitalmedia.com, and it's time for The Beat Goes On.
Well, it is another Wednesday in Colorado Springs, and once again we made national news because of our little Cheyenne Mountain Zoo getting pelted with softball-sized hail.
I saw that. People were running for their lives. People were going in ambulances and everything else.
Well, it was too bad that it was a parking lot full of tourists too. Really,
I know. It's not really great.
Bad first impression, right?
Right.
But yeah, no, this is what we do every week, and we love it. And I always, everyone's talking now. I don't know. I've actually got people ask me, "Hey, why don't we do comedy thing in between the broadcast on during the day?" And I'm going, "Well, give me an example," like I always say, right?
Right.
So, okay, so when I always have to start out, sometimes I make a joke to get the
Get
crowd
warmed
of
up.
350 on their feet. It's like, okay, so there is a 2-drink minimum for the comedy routine. And hi, how you doing? I'm your host. But yeah, above it all, this is a live broadcast on internet radio, independently owned internet radio, but also live YouTube stream, also live Facebook. So go to our Facebook page, KCOSdigitalmedia.com, if you know anybody that should be listening or could be listening or watching.
They should be watching.
Because you can even comment on the Facebook live feed. And we love seeing where everybody's listening from because, as you know, just got told a minute ago, I got people from all over the states,
That's exciting. That
So-
always makes it better, by the way. It really does.
Yeah, and so, you're a mom, right?
Many times over,
Yeah,
and a
no,
grandma
this
and a
is
great
not-
grandma. Oh
This
my
is not
goodness.
where I'm going with that.
I know, but you opened the gate. I'm gonna throw it all in there.
But, yeah, it's just like I told him, I say, we're like the Mystery Science 3000 figures in the corner. But
We
no,
are.
it's like, how many times have you heard Motherwell? I did eat the cookies.
I really know that. I was thinking that too. I was like,
I love
well,
that.
this is a Motherwell good show. I don't
Yeah,
know. I was just thinking,
but there's also a shout out to a friend of mine I know that always listens in Sacramento, and he's a gold miner, right? Dave Nash, and he's always talking about a Motherwell of a gold vein, because he still goes back to the old gold rush fields and researches everything and
that's a cool thought.
still
isn't
brings
it?
stuff out. But so as going back to this comedy thing, right? So
Okay.
somebody's supposed to have a comedy school here, and I'm going, what do you mean comedy school? Why can't you just be yourself and be
And-
funny or
right.
stupid?
We don't need that. We're dumb enough on our own.
But no, the fact remains is that when you want to do a punchline as a comedian, right, you emphasize 3 different examples before the third one is finally like the smack in the face that, hey, guess what? We got a band here tonight called Motherwell,
I love it.
right?
And in that vein,
In the
Aw.
vein. Oh, the gold vein.
because I was listening.
She
that
does
time.
catch on pretty
I
good.
was
Yeah.
listening that
Yeah.
time. How about you guys play a couple songs and then we get to talking to you? I
That's
would love
what
to
we
hear
usually do is open up with 2 songs, and then we talked about how
The format.
if they're storytellers, cool. If not, we'll act silly and do what we do.
Yes.
Awesome.
Good.
Well, we're actually going to play 3 songs because our second song and our third song, they sort of bleed into each other. And then we'll talk a little bit about it afterwards. you.
Thank you so much.
Well, this is exactly why I asked them to come do a show.
I love it.
This is some absolutely beautiful stuff.
It really is, you guys. It's
Thank you.
totally beautiful. I love. Sorry, Mark. I didn't mean to be rude.
Go, because
I love where it
told 'em-
takes you.
Yeah.
When you listen to it, it makes me feel all comfortable and just want to hear the words. That's a good thing.
Oh.
So many bands. I mean, no cut or anything, but you listen to the music, but you don't understand a ding dang word they're saying. You know? It's
Yeah.
like, well, that was good. What were the words? I don't know, but I liked it, you know?
Uh-huh.
But this, you get to hear the words. I
Yeah.
liked it.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad. That
But-
last song means it's like one of my favorite songs. It means a lot to me. I don't know, maybe if you guys have like caught it, but it's sort of like about if you've ever been in an argument, which probably some of us have. I'm just gonna say. But if you've ever been in an argument and it's gotten kind of intense, there's this point where after that point, nothing that either of the parties say do any actual good. And so that's like what that is that song is that point of like we need to either make up and make amends or walk away because
That's
nothing
wonderful.
else is going to get done.
That's a good message, though. So many people need to understand that. Honestly, in the heat of a fight, it's like, just walk away.
Yeah, and time will heal it.
It
And,
does.
Yeah.
Wow. This is why I also enjoy. We have had so many great, and I'm going to say it, young bands. You guys are young, coming down and doing the show and really introducing a lot of different stuff than a lot of people here are used to. We know, like I say, even though the 350 people aren't right here, we're already getting comments on YouTube and the Facebook,
really?
Facebook
Yes.
Live.
They're
That's
loving
awesome.
it.
Oh,
So I
Love you
mean,
all.
you're already making an impact, and people are, enjoying what you're doing as much as we are. I can't wait to ask you guys really what are your musical influences because of the style that you're doing.
Yes. And I love the style, Mark. I have to say, okay, so I like people that dare to be themselves. Okay? I'm not into minions. I don't like people that follow the pack. I like people that do their own thing. And you guys, your sound is your sound. Anytime I hear you on the radio station, I will know that it's Motherwell. And that's fantastic, you guys.
Wow.
Me too, yeah.
You want to
that's
stand
amazing.
out.
We love to hear that. Oh my gosh. Thank
it's
you
true.
So much.
No, we just traded compliments even
I
before
know.
the show. It's like, man,
I like it.
the drummer said, "Oh, everybody, we're playing. Everybody you know is in Denver," and it's like,
Yeah.
that's just great to hear. And yeah, so speaking of which, Triple D that we were talking about,
Yeah.
and Kelly Donovan of like so many different bands, but they're all great little projects. They sent us a bunch of commercials. Okay, so I'm real proud of myself. I figured out how to program the freaking commercials.
Oh my goodness, you don't know what we went through for
I'm the
that.
program
Oh.
director, and yeah, the software
It's
is a
not as-
little tricky because it's made in France.
Uh-huh.
I'll say that. It's French software.
No, oui.
But
Say la vie.
no, so we were without or even station IDs for a while, and it's like, oh my God, that's the only thing the FCC asks of an internet radio station is you identify
You have
yourself.
to, yeah.
So now we've got like 14. I found like 14 sound bites that we had done since our inception, and they're on the hour every hour. I'm going to get brave tomorrow and do them every quarter hour.
Oh, boy.
But this is an open
yeah.
invitation since you guys know Triple D and anybody else. So really, I mean, Scott Wild's in the house.
Yes.
So, I've told people before, and I'm about to post it again, if any bands want to do a 15-second self-promotion commercial saying, listen to my stuff on KCOSdigitalmedia.com, you're going to be in the quarterly review.
Oh, and you guys,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so much fun to
Oh
do
yeah,
it.
we'll be on that.
Cool. It
Yeah,
only
we'll-
takes 15 seconds, but I'm telling you, I've done it myself, And for me, it's 15 seconds of shenanigans. It makes me laugh so hard. I'm like, okay, start again, try again.
Yeah, you know,
Start
and
again,
most
try
people, if
again.
they just say the shortest thing, it's only like 6 seconds. And it's like, no, you got to talk more.
And then they look at you and they're going, I don't want to. I just ran out.
But we found the one with Charles and Elizabeth. So Ed's kids are on
Shadow
there.
Man.
And the one guy from one of the, I forgot what band, but the guy that sounded just like Harry Carey. Yeah. I don't know if he was in Signs and Signals or what.
I
But,
love Signs and
oh,
Signals.
man, you got they're going to be hilarious. We don't do the,
They
this
are hilarious.
is, you know,
It's-
got to be different. So it's a challenge. Everybody's heard it.
Yep.
Um,
And they
make-
said they'd love to, so I'm excited. It'll be fun,
Sweet.
you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know,
we would be excited.
info at KCOSdigitalmedia.com. Send an MP3. Make
And
it
we are,
15 seconds to even 30 seconds. I
Yep.
don't care.
yep, just do a shameless little plug and do what you need to do.
Yeah, and we even Monday night we did the CD of the week first thing,
Yes.
and it was with our new best friends, Dangerous Days. Those guys were gracious enough to wait to release their CD until we did the preview Monday night,
Right?
and I asked them further. I said, okay, since we're the Mystery Science 3000 people in the background, I asked them, I said, would you please do a little bit of narrative about each song? And they did. So they did an intro and then played the song and then talked about it all the way down a dozen songs. And it was like an hour and 15 minutes.
It goes by
Which-
really fast.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it led right into, you know, our normally scheduled Colorado Metal Shop at 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Which is wonderful. You know, Mark, I was wondering if you guys would introduce yourselves
Yeah.
and let us know who you are by name.
Sure.
Well, I'm Chris Galinsky.
My name's
Hey.
Jacob Fifield. And then this is George, old George.
There's always a silent one.
This is lovely Day.
Yeah.
Hello. Fabulous.
Yeah. And that's us. And at the risk of sounding a little too pluggy, I just want to let you guys and let everybody else know that the last song we played, we had just released a music video for, and it's up on our YouTube page. All you got to do is check out Motherwell Official and look up Amends, and it'll be right there. You can just click on it.
It's beautiful.
Thank
Oh,
you.
man.
You and
yeah.
I had discussed it. I'm sorry, Mark.
Really?
Again,
Did
yes.
it-
We discussed it before the show because I watched it. And the ink drop. What is it that happened there in that? It's just beautiful.
So in that particular scene, we had gotten together a bunch of ink in like a little Pyrex dish, and then we shot it from above. And there's this really special property that India ink has when you mix it with oil. You can kind of put drops inside the oil, and they stay the same. And so what we did was we made this really colorful like backdrop, and then we put oil in it and dropped those drops in them, and then I sat right next to it, and with a little hand fan thing, just kind of pushed it, and it made this real nice color swirl that
it's
was
so
just
cool.
really fun.
It's
We all had a
beautiful.
blast doing it.
Oh, that's great. I mean, you know, here we are. I've been a photographer and a video guy forever, but no, that's creative stuff.
Very
man.
creative.
That micro photography, you know, and I gotta
We
watch it.
we're
I gotta
working
say
on-
I did.
We're working on more too, so
Yeah.
keep your eyes peeled.
Well, and you know,
Beautiful.
and here again, PSA, our group page, the Southern Colorado Musicians and Artists Cooperative.
Mhm.
It's not about Southern Colorado anymore because it's got like almost 7,700 members.
Well, I'm glad
So
to hear that
it's-
it's grown.
It's
Yeah,
a,
that's awesome.
It's a great forum for you to put anything you want, anytime you want.
Yeah.
You know, so that we have that reach for you.
Awesome.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I really liked, I will say in that video also, the makeup artistry. Of course, the music is fantastic, but I'm always looking at stuff like that. Women do that. And I thought it was outstanding. I was like, man, I want somebody to do my makeup that way sometime. It's beautiful. It's really gorgeous. And
Heck yeah.
so bravo to you guys because the video is outstanding.
Thank you very
so
much.
much.
It
Really
really is.
appreciate that.
I'm ready to hear some
So,
more tunes.
Chris,
Maybe?
what's downstream about?
Oh, downstream.
There you
It's
go.
about kind of this next song we're about to play. It's called Downstream. It's about trying to sort of stay calm, cool, and collected through all of the stuff everyone's throwing at you all the time. You know, sort of trying to check all of that and stay positive. And yeah, that's about it.
Sweet.
Wrote it really quick. One of those.
We're mellow, man. We're just a lot alike. But you know, Nate came up and said there was already some comments on the YouTube feed about enjoying the sax playing. So
Awesome. Thanks.
there you go, man.
We incorporated that about 9-10 months ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Cool.
So I'm really excited. I only played saxophone growing up, sort of like in middle school kind of thing, and I thought I'd get back to it, try out the tenor instead of the alto, which is what I used to play. So a little bit of a learning curve, but it's definitely worth it. I love the voice of the tenor a lot better.
It's working.
It works, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I talked.
This
too
is
much.
our street corner gypsy, Lisa Carnes, of the band, the same name. But
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
you tripped her up on the last out.
I liked it. I was like, I started to, and then you
And
started
I was
playing, and I was
going,
like,
wait for it.
it's really
love
good.
that.
I love the vocals, you guys.
Thank
I
you.
do love the vocals. And you guys are artsy. I like the artsy thing a lot. I'm looking at the sign here,
Yeah.
and it's badass.
Thank you.
It is. It's got some of my favorite colors in it, and I just love it.
Yeah, we actually all took a couple days and made it ourselves. We didn't have actually Day has a lot of experience in the wood shop, and he's got a bunch of tools and stuff, and so we just kind of got to it one day. We were like, hey, what are we doing? We should make a sign. And then at the end of a couple days, there it was. Same with the obelisks. Sometimes they breathe fog, but I hear the fire marshal is not too happy when there's fog in this. Yeah.
Fire Marshal Bill gets pissed off. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd hate to cut your 2 hours so short.
Yeah. With everything maybe possibly getting wet and all kinds
Was
of
that a good save or
That's
what,
okay.
Nicole?
Yeah.
Nicole and
want
I
any of
talked
that.
about that before the show. I go, they're not going to do that, are they?
No.
We would hate
But
that.
you
if
know,
they
it's
did.
like, hey,
Not that
it's all
again.
fun and games until somebody gets the fire alarm.
Something like that. Oh, I used to be such a jerk when I was a kid. I would pull the fire alarm and run. Oh,
man.
I was that kid.
You were rotten.
I
that
was
was okay.
rotten.
I did
I
that one time
was.
too.
Oh, got a couple rotten ones in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I used to entertain the crap out of myself when I was a kid. I was like, let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Kids, do not try this at home.
Yeah. This kid always did try it at home.
But yeah, if people are watching directly on YouTube, you're watching the Colorado Music Network, you guys should hit subscribe because we have over 1,100 Colorado shot videos from our series to festivals to it's just 1,100 videos.
Sweet. That's
But,
awesome. It's a
you know,
lot of videos.
We're
lot of work.
what we're all about is exporting Colorado music to the world, really.
Yes.
You know,
That's
so
really
it-
awesome.
Yeah, it's our science project. We've been seen in over 200 countries so far.
Dang.
Yes.
You
That's
know?
that
awesome.
makes me so
Worldwide
happy.
from Colorado Springs.
I know.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
awesome. Yeah,
And-
why
and
not?
it's going to be on your show's going to be on there forever. So
Yeah.
they always grow. Yeah.
Right. And feel free to do whatever you want with your show. Make an EPK, make pieces, slice it up.
Okay.
Do whatever you want to. It's yours once you leave here. And
Sweet. All
yeah.
right. Love to hear that.
yeah,
That's
just
awesome.
do whatever you want.
That's awesome.
Well, you know, we really appreciate it. Like I say, when bands come down from Denver, really, that's
Yes.
to do a radio show, you know, of this sorts. It just I'm humbled. Thank you.
Yes,
that,
bless your
know,
heart. Thank you
take
very
time
much.
out and
Yeah,
drive
thank you.
down
We
and-
are very humbled too because like we saw you guys put on all of these shows for these bands and I was just like, wow, those guys are really killing it because yeah, you know, you're providing like a stage and like an audience for people who would normally probably feel a little frustrated trying to get out of the Denver scene, and then the fact that you guys are so just easily accessible, you can shoot an email or Facebook message and you respond so quickly. It's really amazing. It's really
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you.
No, really. I mean, that we wouldn't have nothing to do if you guys didn't, if we didn't have anything like you guys to do to promote to the independent artists and bands of Colorado. I mean, you know, it's not to say that, I don't know, you guys get shopped around. I'm sure you played other
Sure.
places,
You guys are
but
great.
you know, we make this our mission to promote Colorado. I don't know of any other independent station that has their own state's music, and that's it.
Exactly. It's so
So-
crazy.
And that's how it's going to get to be known, you guys, because if we stick to it and we're proud of Colorado and our musicians, it's going to get there.
Sweet.
It already is getting
yeah,
there.
no, it's
I
already
mean,
there.
It is. But, you know, you always want to reach for the very highest that you can
Yeah.
reach for, you know. And so we're getting there, and I'm really proud of what we're doing. And because of people like you that are willing to come down from Denver and do this for us. And, you know, I love it that it's a giving situation.
Heck yeah.
You guys
That's
gave
awesome.
of your time. We try to give to you guys. It's not all about the
Yeah.
It's about just helping each other.
Exactly.
But-
I love it. You guys and us, and especially viewers like you, just make it happen. They
Yes.
just make it happen.
That's that was the whole thing. We all have the same opinion. The 5 of us that own the company. It's like this is what we do,
Yes.
and it's been fun. Every show we get surprised beyond belief because I listen. I can tell too when Motherwell comes on the station, and you guys are jam
Thank you.
based, and I love it. I really do.
Yes.
And that's why I say I always make guesses what your influences are, but it's too early in the show yet. But
Yeah.
it's probably about the time for almost 500 people to hear another couple songs.
And that's
Sweet.
where you're at.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So
Yeah.
this next song I wrote about my wonderful girlfriend of 5 years, and she's probably watching right now. So hello.
There'll be a quiz
Hello.
after.
Yeah. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this one.
Believe it's you lying there. She took my hand, ran it through her. It was strange, I had to ask why, but to my why, so she paid no. I know, she paid no. I know, paid no mind, just fade to death. My loneliness seemed to fade away. As the years go into the time we may know, I know, sometimes when I dream, I seem to breathe in key. My head rests in heartbeats that flow so easily. Then time stands still, yeah, time stood still, yeah, time stood still. But to the time I paid no mind, to the time she paid no mind, to the time I paid no mind, I paid no mind.
Bit of a firecracker that one is.
Well, Mr. Monochrome says he's going to
Okay.
have to come to Colorado soon to see you guys.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
I don't know where Nate's giving me these, notes here as they come in real time. So that's
Definitely.
it's very cool that people are following the stuff we do and you do. And,
Yeah.
And yeah, every show is so different. If you look at our calendar, it's a mad plug for our Facebook page as well as yours. Everybody needs to hit their page, and then tell friends. That's how we grow. But our calendar is on the Facebook page for KCOSdigitalmedia.com. And we've got 5 shows this month. Last week was a classical guitar mentors
Oh,
exhibition clinic. I mean, Dale Miller just was amazing with
He's
his
outstanding.
career of playing and teaching classical guitar for like Colorado College.
oh. I saw you guys post that one. I'm gonna have to go check it out when I get home. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
I love classical gutar. That is awesome.
Yeah, no, it was very good. And we did a show at his house
Okay.
about a year ago. But you know, we always have a recurring guest list, you know, and I think they're pretty close, huh?
Yeah, you guys should sign up to come on again.
Heck yeah, we'd love to.
Yeah, we'd love to. This
Really
place is
great.
great.
So you're working on new stuff, or?
Yeah, we're actually in the process right now of recording our second full-length album. We released our first full-length earlier this year in January after working on it for 2.5 years. So yeah,
Wow.
kind of stuck in, as the experts say, development hell for about 6 months.
It does happen
Yeah,
that way. It's
but then
hard.
we pulled it through and we said, hey, we're gonna release this, and so we did, and now we're back at it. Just right back into it.
That's wonderful, though.
Yeah.
That keeps you on your toes.
That cracks me
Totally.
up, man. It's like 2.5 years. You know, they
Yeah.
always say it's best to like sleep on it and think about it another day.
Yeah.
2.5
Well, I
years.
Yeah.
think that's wonderful.
We
though.
slept on it for a while.
I think that speaks to how important it was to you guys
Yeah.
to make sure that it was the best quality of whatever it was that you were trying to put out.
Oh, totally.
I do, because it is hard to do that. And,
Oh man.
you know, sometimes you can write a song like you said. I just wrote that one really, really quick, but it's so important to me. And those just take off, you know. And then there's other ones that are a work in progress that just take some time, and you got to get the finesse.
I think someone wants to walk
There.
in and hear some music. Uh-oh.
Don't be afraid to walk in.
Right. Don't be afraid. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you know, I forgot to mention we usually have a heckler from Canyon City that'll hit the Facebook and say, "Let's talk more music." You know?
It's like, but it's a talent show.
But it's like,
Yeah,
you know, once again, though, too, I always ask bands. I say, "How many people come up and ask about you when you're playing? You know, you do your set, and how many people come up and really go, hey, what's all this about?"
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know?
not really.
Except for at the end of the
That's it.
night.
Yeah, maybe the end of the night. What was that one song?
Right. They're all loaded. It's like they're not gonna remember tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
That's funny. So, who does most of the writing? Do you guys
Well-
have a specific writer, or do you all do it, or?
We sort of like, it's like us two, pretty much, that do all. It's like us two that do a lot. We come at each other with songs, and we sort of just bounce off each other and workshop ideas, and like really try and make each song like the best it can be in any way that possible. And like, me and Chris have been playing music for, oh God, coming up on 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
We,
And so, you know, we've gone through like a lot of like lineup changes and things
Sure.
like that from playing music together so long. But this group that we have right here with George and Day and Chris and myself, and it's just something like really special. We all get along really well, and we want to sort of move from just like him and I doing the songwriting to like all of us together sort of participating in the creative
Yeah.
process. So we're like shifting from like just us to like all four of us.
You know when you get the group that's magic.
Right?
You know, you do go through lineup changes until you finally get that right fit. And oh boy, doesn't it feel good when that
It
happens.
really does.
There's like not at all, you just can't do enough when it gets right.
Yeah, exactly.
See, and that's what, you know, they definitely have a great live sound, which, in addition to the great studio sound on the radio, I mean, that's
Amazing.
amazing to pull off in both
It is.
senses, you know. So I also want to say we love Chad Martin, our sound
Sound
tech
guy.
from Hex Audio
Oh,
Visual.
heck yeah.
Yeah,
He's
we
fabulous.
we do
Audio.
every show with these guys, and
yeah, he's a pro for sure.
He really is. He really is, and he's a sweet, sweet man. And then
Definitely.
Nicole, our beautiful Nicole behind the bar. We love her. She makes any room a beautiful place to be. I just love her so much. Oh. So yeah, you know, bring up one quick little thing, and then we'll listen to some more music.
Cool. Sweet.
Last night, we were fortunate enough to see a wonderful band, 21 Terras.
Okay.
And they're really, really, really good. And then after that was an all-star jam with Harry Conklin, the lead singer from Jack Panzer.
Okay.
which was very interesting. But I would like to say our own Marie Elam from Saboteur, Colorado Springs girl, well, mainly Pueblo, but Colorado Springs girl, metal singer, dainty, tiny little thing, metal singer.
Yes.
Yes. Exactly. Held it down with Harry Conklin from Jack Panzer, and she did an excellent job. So all props to Marie Elam and Saboteur for helping with that jam, and 21 Terras. It was fabulous.
It was a joy to meet 21 Terras. That's another band that, you know, we'd message back and forth for like 6 months to a year, you know, and finally getting around to meeting them. Even though we couldn't get them on the stage, we went and caught them on the last night of their tour and got that set. So, yeah, more video to come, but those, yeah, it was a great time.
They deserve
they
a
obviously
shout-out.
wanted to go home.
Well, they did, but you know, they deserve a shout out. They did such a wonderful job, and they were of an excellence that, unfortunately, the room wasn't full. I'll say it that way. But they played like there was 1,000 people there or 5,000 people there, and they put on their show, and I so respected that.
You know, I love seeing those performances where those, you know, musicians and performers can just get up on stage and just give it their all, no matter who or who isn't in the room, you know?
They did, and that's what made me remember to even do the shout out tonight, because, you know, half the time I'm and I'm on to the next, you know, squirrel shiny, whatever. But those guys were really good, and it was a wonderful night.
Well, I had to say, it's like, you know, Harry Conklin from Jag Panzer, internationally renowned metal band from Colorado Springs, still going. And he asked us if we were streaming their upcoming August 25th show at Rock's Bar and Grill.
Yes.
And I just looked at him. I said, Harry, how could I not want? It's like, no, I don't want to do that. We're busy. We're doing it.
We're doing
it. Yeah, I mean, this is the longevity of a Colorado institution that doesn't come around very often. And you know, wish you guys all the success.
We do.
To come,
Thank you.
Because you guys are definitely really talented, and the creativity, your time signatures, your music is just killing me, man.
It's good.
I want to hear more.
I do too. So let's talk more music, right, Mark?
Where's the heckler at?
My turn.
All right, so there'll be a little bit of talking. So this next song is, it's like, it's about reflection, right? Sometimes there's a moment where you can kind of see your own BS for your own BS and maybe make a change. So that's basically what this one's about. So please enjoy.
Sculpting through the end of time on planet Earth, where we unwind and bind ourselves to the divine, envisioning a better path, the light bestowed upon your hands for you to hold and mold. Take it.
Thank
I
you.
liked it. Take it and reclaim it. Right?
Take it and reclaim it.
I
yeah.
do like that because that is kind of what you do. I think that's awesome. I liked it.
Thank you.
You know, I when we were corresponding on, you know, that's the danger of reading instead of communicating. Uh, they were talking about the obelisks. I'm thinking like Caesar's palace size, you know, big, tall suckers, you know. And it's like I'm going, well, really? This is gonna be interesting. But I mean, this is a nice frame. I'm sure for everyone watching on YouTube, they're going to agree that yeah, the layout of this stage is hopefully very complimentary. How do you think?
It's gorgeous,
I mean,
you guys.
from here, you guys look great. If you could only see yourselves.
If you could only see what we're seeing, it does
Right?
it with the lights behind and then this doing the different colors and
Yeah,
the beautiful that's going on there. It really does. It's a beautiful stage tonight.
maybe
Thank you
that's
very
what we
much.
need to do is get a reverse monitor for the band to watch themselves.
Oh, wouldn't that be
Totally.
fun?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, except for the stuck-up people, because then they'd stop playing. They'd comb their hair or something. I don't know.
Well, you know, stage theatrics is always welcome, really.
I'm just kidding.
All right. So we're going to have some fun with this next one because this next song we just play because it's fun to play. So
Right on.
try-
Just when I think I have you guys figured out.
Oh man, just you wait what happens next.
So, I wanted to ask you guys a quick question. Where can people find you, and where will you be playing next so that people can come and see you guys?
Well, next we will be playing. Yeah, we'll be playing very, very soon. We will actually be playing tomorrow in Fort Collins at the Artery with Archipelagos.
Very nice.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that one. And for right now, we're kind of taking a little break from playing shows. This is kind of like our last big bang because we're trying to get this record out so we can give it to y'all next year.
Sure. Wonderful.
And as far as where you can find us, we're on Spotify, just under Motherwell. Our album is self-titled, just Motherwell. Let's see.
Spotify, any other
Bandcamp,
every
iTunes.
iTunes, every major music platform.
In-
There's
including ours.
Yeah,
Exactly.
including the awesome
KCOS.
KCOS music.
No, I'm serious. I don't know if you knew, but on the playlist where it has the recently played, if you see a shopping cart by the songs, it goes directly to your source material with no pass through to us. Of course, that's a feature
Well, that's awesome.
of the Radio King software. So yeah,
Wow. I had no idea. That's awesome.
and it also appears on the mobile app for Android for now. But yeah, I mean, so
You guys have a mobile app, a KCOS mobile app?
for
Heck
Android,
yeah.
yeah.
That's so awesome.
And
Wow,
it's-
look at you guys go. That's sweet.
It's all on the website, yeah.
We have a
Awesome.
Nathan Lear, the
Yeah.
guru of the engineering and making all this run and
Oh.
knowing how all those complicated things work. Honestly, we need our Nathan. We love him very much.
Well, and we also have Shadow Man in the shadows, of course, that sets everything up and is always on top of things for us. And I mean, there's no one person that we can do without. And
Exactly.
we're missing our Laura tonight.
We
I know.
are.
I know. If she were here, I was going to say, what do
She
you
would
think
love
Laura
this.
would say?
Oh, fabulous. She would say that you guys were stunning. You guys were fabulous.
Yeah.
She would. And we do miss her. And love you, Laura, if you're watching.
Heck
So
yeah.
we do miss her when she's not here. She sits on the other side. He has Bipsy and Bopsy on bookends.
See, it means I have to talk less, so so I don't have to charge everybody the 2-drink minimum, right?
Right?
Sometimes he looks at us and he's like,
The heckler.
exactly.
Yeah, so you can check us out on Instagram or Facebook. We're everywhere. We do Day handles out all of our Instagram stuff, so he's got some pretty cool things that we post. So
Cool.
and I'm just gonna say really quick that you may think that you had us figured out, but you definitely don't, because now Chris is gonna jump on the guitar for the rest of the time. There you go.
You are right. This is interesting. This is very interesting.
Uh-huh.
Right on, you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
See now, unless you went to a Motherwell show, if you're watching this on YouTube, then now you really know what you're hearing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
We're
now
all
this
sort
is
of all
the-
over the place in the studio, so
So
we just
yeah,
sort of.
these are the original. You've switched up for every track on the album, right? Pretty much. That's very cool. Yeah.
I think it's way cool.
Heck yeah. So this next song is about something that I'm not sure many people will connect with. Like, has anybody ever had like a bad day at work?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Well, how could you have a bad day at work when you're working this awesome place?
It's true.
The
These awesome
beautiful
shows.
world famous Gold Room
Yes.
with the soon to be syndicated Beat Goes On
Right.
global internet radio show. Yeah.
Syndication.
It could happen. It could
Begins
happen.
with
But
sin. Okay.
one thing I got to say is your sign gets excited somehow.
That's awesome. I'm so glad. We spent a lot of hard work on it.
No, it seems like it's sometimes it's got a little delay on it, and then all of a sudden it starts flashing,
Nice.
and it almost seems like sometimes it corresponds to some of the voice things.
Very cool. So, like I was saying, the song I wrote after I had a really bad day at work, and so yeah, here goes.
I'm moving
That was a wonderful display of musicianship, you guys.
Thank
I've
you.
never ever seen a guitarist play two instruments at one time. It was blowing my mind. I was like, wow. And you're just as equally good on both. You guys are just, it's wonderful. And you can harmonize whether you're a third above or a third below. You're handling it like
Yeah.
a boss.
Like a total boss. I've never actually seen anybody that can switch off playing guitar and saxophone like this guy can.
I know,
He's
it was-
insane. He's an animal.
It's really a testament. I was thinking to myself, I know he's not a smoker. You can just tell you couldn't be because you're able to do that and you're not really breaking a sweat and you're just doing it. It's just,
He's just a boss.
I'm serious. I want to hear another one. You ready for another one? Let's do it.
Today.
All right. This next one is called Today, and it's sort of about receiving some really bad news and being at somebody's funeral and sort of reflecting on it and trying to make the best of it. And I thought it was such a sad experience, the funeral that I was at, then this song just kind of came to me, and I thought, think about something happy. And that's kind of what this one's about. Today, I'm just a thing that is walking and talking, but feeling nothing but my own pain, and that is no way to go on with this day. If you ask me, then I would tell you that I think it's all the same. 'Cause my love and hate, well, they're just too amazed by existence to complain or feel ashamed. Well, that'd be too easy. Look around, calm down, and don't lay out and seem to remember things. But if you feel inside my mind, I gave you all through the rough and the tumble. But it feels good just right down on me. Why? 'Cause it's the only thing that you got. Today, all of the things, well, they've come crashing right down to me. And that's just the thing, I'm just too damn crazed by fiction to dictate almost anything. I just go on trying hard not to escape or feel anything. Well, that would be too easy. Look around, calm down, and don't lay out and seem to remember things. And if you're feeling so tired, maybe hot, it may be cold, I don't know which one. And it feels good, just right down on night, 'cause it's the only thing that you got. Today.
That was wonderful. You're a deep thinker.
Oh, thanks. I try.
Yeah, that was a very
Never
wonderful.
stop thinking, right?
I appreciated it. You know what? There's a topic for, you can find in music that you like topics that suit you and topics that you can relate to and this, that, and the other. And you guys are singing about stuff that is real for people. Having a bad day at work, how you feel when you're at a funeral and it hurts too bad. Just all that kind of stuff. It's true stuff. It really is. It's a good perception, I guess, in my opinion. Anyway, How about 2 in a row? What do you think?
Oh yeah. This next one, sort of just for you musicians out there, it's got some fun time signature stuff in there. So if you can,
All
you
right.
can keep an ear out for it, then yeah.
Trying
Thank
Can you tell that we like the Cars?
You know, that was one of my questions. I was gonna go, what music do you guys really like? And no, I just like I told you, I thought I had to figure it out a few times, but the whole set has been, every song has been different.
Which is nice.
So it's like, okay, when I think you're this, it's like, no, 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 no. But the Cars, that was kind of an underlying current there for a couple songs.
I love the Cars.
Oh, me too.
But that's the kind of cool. This was like, okay, how do you define yourself? Because I know what you said on your Facebook page, but for the viewing public,
That's a hard one, you know. We like to think of like ourselves as like just sort of like, I don't know.
A lot of it has to do with how we met. So
Yeah.
Fife and I, Jacob, I call him Fife. It's his last name, Fifield. We met during a production of the Rocky Horror Show.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So I was asked to be the music director because they didn't have anybody, and I was in college for music at the time, in like an a cappella choir kind of thing. And
You forgot the part where you played Frankenfurter.
I also played Frankenfurter. I was 19, and I think Fife was like 17.
Yeah.
So we've always kind of like designed our music around a really kind of like theatrical, sort of like that era of rock and roll, you know.
I like it.
And so a lot of that kind of stuff, you know. Love Bowie, love all the greats. Also, there's this band Phenomena, who's this great indie rock band from Portland, Oregon, and we just loved them. They have
Yeah.
a saxophone player too. A lot of our influence comes from them, and Bright Eyes and Connor Oberst, if you're familiar with them.
Are you? Mark? Mark is always familiar. He knows the very obscure.
and that's, I was going to go back even further and say, gosh, have you listened to Hawkwind?
Hawkwind?
No,
I've never heard of them. No.
Okay, so this is where you said psychedelic indie rock. It's like, okay, Lemmy from Motorhead was originally in Hawkwind, and it was just this really great, I think, pre-Bowie jam band. And their songs were like 20 minutes long, but
Yeah.
it was better than Pink Floyd ever, in my mind, was.
Wow.
Except for that much. But, I like the abstract stuff that you guys are doing, because it reminds me of a lot of old things that,
Me too.
yeah, if I said, another band, and you said what? It's like, okay.
Well, we've said it at least 4 or 5 different times. It's kind of this. It's kind of that. It's just really good, you guys. And you know what? You can honestly tell that you've done some learning on some music. I can tell, because what you do with your voice and the way that you guys compliment each other, everyone's complimenting each other, is outstanding, because I was counting the voices. And I counted 3, almost 4 voices in a couple of those songs just coming from you. And then when you come in, it sounds like there's a bunch of people up there singing, and it's the 2 of you. So that's really great.
That's a great compliment.
That's
I
an
appreciate
awesome compliment. Thank you.
Well, I sound like Patty and Selma from The Simpsons, you know. I should never sing ever. And when I hear you doing that, I just think, oh, that's just really cool. The way that you're doing those different voices, it's cool.
She's our ringer. She teaches music.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I knew, there was going to be some point where, yeah, she goes right for the immediate, because that's how we think. It's like, you guys, instead of, like I say, the silly questions like, hey, what's this song about? Not that it's not a great question, because you had some perfect examples of had a bad day. Oh, I've had many bad days,
Yeah.
but the whole point is that you guys are just playing happy music.
Mm-hmm.
It's very catchy, and it's just happy music.
It's working.
But it's so intricate. It's grabbing you. I don't know how many different ways. 4 different ways.
Well, and when you guys are doing your time signature things that you're doing, you're staying right on it, because that could be scary. I was
can
even
be.
counting. I was counting with you guys a couple times. I was going, "That's so scary," and when you guys would hit it every time, because I'm going 1 and 2 and I was going, "Yes!" Every time you hit it, it was great. It's just fantastic.
Heck yeah.
That's where she's dangerous. She's counting, and I'm just in the telepathy zone. You know, it's
Sweet.
that's what I like about the genre that you guys are you know, and there's a whole bunch of you guys. I mean, we can't get enough on the schedule.
No.
We're booked. We're booked through the end of the year, so we've just said if you want a show in 2019, go throw us a calendar date.
2019.
You know,
Yes.
if you want to do a CD release, or you know, we do these things.
We do. We do a lot of things. We're opening up our horizons to understanding a whole bunch of different things that are out there that are so worthy of what we're trying to put out there. You know what I mean? It's really great. You know, there's so many people that are trying to put out an artistic value of one point or another. You know, that's why the Artists and Musicians Cooperative exists, because it's not artists as in musicians, it's artists along with musicians are all welcome. So I'm seeing both of that here, and it's
Yeah.
pretty dang cool.
I love
You-
that philosophy. That's really awesome. You know, sometimes it's easy to just get kind of caught up in like a music community where it's like just musicians kind of, and then they're
Yeah.
all working on their own art and they all want to show each other their own art, but there's like not really a whole lot of like support, actual support for each other, because everyone's like sort of fighting to just show you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so I think it's really awesome when you guys like include, you know, artists and musicians to come in and like work together, because that's really when the quality product happens, when you have multiple people working together.
That's right. That's the
Well,
whole
you got-
idea.
yeah, you have the intent, but really how it all happened is that me and another friend, being photographers, my friends got tired of seeing all my concert photos on my personal page, so me and another friend, Larry Hulst, internationally recognized photographer who I've carried his bags for many years to learn from, but an artist friend of mine that goes by the name of Tinez, Tinez, has this page on Facebook. He does amazing art, and he's got an amazing story that he works really in amazing colors in his landscapes. And then Michael Reese and Wayne Hammerstadt as two guitar players that didn't really like to do Facebook that much. We all said, hey, let's put this group together. You know, and so really it's taken on a life of its own, almost 7,700 members.
I'm
you
so
know.
proud of it.
That's
I'm really
so cool. That's really cool.
I'm really proud of it, because people are really coming together, and the word cooperative needs to mean something.
Totally.
But we also
really does.
include like guitar makers, luthiers, amp makers. You know, there's industry people. We encourage to show their stuff. Every once in a while, and we get surprised. You know, the Facebook algorithms are what they are, but I mean, the page is very active. I get an activity report every week, and I'm going, wow.
And yeah,
And we have two other pages. Well, three. I have three other pages, but
I got to
you know, one for the station and one for we have the Sunday Blues Show, so that's another niche. So we try to cover, you know, a horizontal media base. You know,
We
that's
do.
what I mean. We play everybody. I think we've only not accepted one project, and we're playing like over 400 Colorado bands and solo artists. So here's to you guys, man.
That is incredible.
No, here's to you guys. This is the talent that, like I said, nobody else has a state-only export
No,
of music.
Definitely not.
So yeah.
And
thanks.
I'm sure when as you guys are growing and getting larger, acts, you know, national acts will be like, hey, I want to come play on your show because it's cool and you guys are awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. We've actually been talking to a lot of people, very interesting people, and it is starting to head that way, you know, and we also have aligned ourselves with charitable works as well. We have a charity, Mountain Kids Music. It's a charity I started years ago, and what we do is we take donations of instruments, get them refurbished, whatever. They can be used, they can be new, whatever. And we have qualified, certified teachers with background checks. And these things are given to us, and we give them to indigent children that otherwise wouldn't get to learn music or get to play or whatever. And so we've really been trying to align ourselves with all things that benefit children.
That's so
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Music was such a great thing for me growing up, and Chris as well. And I'm sure really all of us. I mean, there's been
all
like
of us.
It's a
huge, I mean,
lifesaver.
all of us in the room. It's a lifesaver. Exactly.
It is.
Yeah.
It can literally save lives.
It does. It literally does. Saves your soul at the very least.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna play a couple more.
Thank you.
Please do, yeah. Yeah, because Leanne Taylor and Oprah Jones and Christian.
Oprah Jones.
Yeah, they're all loving the show too. So more comments. This is great. Keep it up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do another one for you. This one's called Rooms.
Sick and tired of hiding, sick and fighting.
newer one that's kind of coming up on this next album.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my personal favorites.
Okay, so it took 2.5 years to get the first product out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in the studio now. What's the forecast look like?
The forecast is actually looking pretty good right now.
Yeah.
We're making pretty good time. We're pretty much keeping with our schedule. There have been like a few setbacks, but we overcome them. And so I would say that we're on track for probably next spring or summer release.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you doing anything differently, or are you just keeping with the same great groove that you got going right now?
Yeah, I would say we're doing a lot. We're doing like a lot more,
Yeah?
just generally. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were doing like for our first record. We were like sort of like going in and doing every month, just one day a month, and that's like a part of a reason why it took 2 years, is because it took it took about a year to track everything, just going once a month, one day a month. But now we're sort of like we have our own flow now because we're self-recording. Day is an audio engineer. He's awesome. She engineered our last album, and so now that she's playing drums for us, it's like really cool because we get to just all come together and just record. And we don't have to stress out about like paying somebody per hour. We can just come and be creative and record and get just the best stuff down on the tracks.
And he makes cool stuff for you too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I just
Yep.
I still like the column concept. You know. So what's the material that you used?
So everything's wood. So we just used we just made a frame for each of them, and then just did paneling.
Oh,
And then
okay.
we put it all together, and we took it all apart again, and we painted everything, and then we just put it back together. And it's got like a little cubby. This little part swings out on both of them, so we can put our fog machines inside or take them out. Either way. and so yeah, and then we cut out these little side things and mounted LEDs on them, and
Well, it looks very cool. Like I say, I didn't walk over yet and touch it because that's what I was really wanting to do. You know?
yeah, it's they're all solid wood.
Well, that's fabulous because I could break anything I wanted to touch it to, but I was like, no, I'm scared. If I do, I'm gonna knock something up. I'm good for that, you guys. I walk into walls. I do stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
we're not really insured for that.
I know. I'm a liability. Well, I just think you guys have artistic value, and I love the production. You know, I mean, things like that. These details are things that people remember. You know,
That's
So,
awesome, and that's definitely our goal. Like back to what Chris was saying earlier. Like we're theater kids at heart. Like I did it all throughout high school. I did it after high school. I was like a tech director of a theater company for a while, and like that's just like really just resonates in with us. Just like making a good show and just like having fun and really just digging into the music.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
And
sinking
you
our
guys
teeth
are
into it.
having fun.
You
Yeah.
fit right into our plan, man.
Did you tell them how many people? Did you tell them how many people are watching us presently, or have watched us?
Just a few minutes ago, it was like, over 700 people have been reached by.
By
That's a lot of
Checking-
people.
checking you guys out so far tonight.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a wonderful statistic right there.
It's
It really
just
speaks for
the
itself.
world's watching. You know, it's very cool. It's our science project too. You know.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yes. It was Mark's science project, and I went, hey, I like what you're doing, and you're gonna like me, okay?
Yeah. Let me
'Cause
in on this.
I am that pushy little woman that I was like, you know you want it. You know you want me to come and work for you. Come on.
I know. It's just like be quiet and start.
I know. I was like, okay, I'll just sit over here and I'll just be quiet. Lie, like I was ever quiet one day, but still.
I know. I mean, I already told him it means the less I have to talk, especially when Laura's here. You guys are like, you know,
Likewise. Actually, Laura's very intelligent, and she really does have some musical background and some serious knowledge, theoretical knowledge of music that is so valuable to our team, you know, when we're doing interviews and stuff like that, because she can say things that you guys would understand, and, you know, I do for the most part, but sometimes I don't. But for the most part, she really is very, very sound when it comes to that, and I appreciate it every time she throws out a good whammy. It's like, see, we got a smart one too. It's good. I like it. The girls are trying.
Well, you know, and it's just because, just like you said, the playing aspect. This is fun for us.
Total
I
fun.
mean, Shadow Man, he goes, this is my best night of the week. You know, and it's like, man, it's not like I want to tell him he should get out more, but you know, it's like, yeah, we're an independently owned and run entity, and we wouldn't be doing this if it was, profit motivated, to tell you the truth.
Definitely, it's
But
just
we get surprised every week by great new bands, and even, the recurring list. They always come back, and it shows how much they've grown in a year in some cases, and we just love it. We've had some, like Trent Hughes
right.
started, and Jacob Cade. They were both 15 when they started doing the show 4 years ago.
Jacob Cade's playing with. Oh my
he's
goodness!
doing our birthday show.
I know, but who all has he played with in this last year?
Oh man.
He's played with the biggies.
Well, they have a management machine. And
His
you
mama.
know, that's one thing. Every once in a while, we try to give, you know, mentoring moments, but sometimes there's people that, you know, and whatever success you got going on is because you went out and just did it, you know.
Right.
And it's motivation. It's getting out and reaching people. It's, you know, people. I look for people when that's how I find a lot of, you know, music for the station. Obviously, because I scour and I go, hey, you want some airplay? But it was all about, yeah, there is so much stuff that needs to be heard. And like I say, when we get, and I don't know, did I thank people for sending music so far? Well, I've got even more music. So I spent half the day today on the computer loading music.
We
But,
thank you for it, Mark.
And keep it coming because
Definitely.
we played the whole thing. When you send us a CD, we play the whole thing.
We don't play just
so
one
cool.
song. We play the whole CD.
The whole album. Hear that?
And we
Whole
don't
album's in rotation.
we don't repeat the same. Yeah, you don't hear a repeat song for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
So you hear the same, the whole CD, not in a row, but in a random fashion.
Right.
That's
We want
awesome.
you to be understood as a band. You can't really gather a lot from just one song. I don't think. I think it's wonderful
so-
the way it's set up.
And that's what's surprising. I mean, it's a great surprise tonight to hear you do your music, you know, in a row instead of me
Yes.
going, oh, that's a Motherwell song. That's a Motherwell song, you know. Sad to say, I haven't listened to the whole thing in succession, but
We will
just
be.
do a lot of music.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
do. We do. But this one will stand out for me for sure.
Well, yeah.
And I do love the name. And can I ask where it came from?
Yeah, I was actually helping a friend do flashcards one night who was majoring in art history over at DU, and several, you know, it was a class, was it abstract expressionism, so all the abstract artists from like, you know, starting early in like the 40s, 50s, on and on.
Like Clifford Still, right?
Yeah, like Clifford Still, you know, Rothko, all those guys, and then one of them came up that was Robert Motherwell, who was just an artist from that time.
Yeah.
And I just like, you know, we both like looked at each other and like she knew that I was looking for a band name at the time. We were all kind of struggling with it. We had like a placeholder name, which used to be, I think, Time Capsule,
Yeah,
and we
Time
weren't
Capsule.
that happy with it.
No.
So then I was just, we kind of just both looked at each other like, that should be your band name, my band name.
Yeah.
And I brought it up to the guys, and yeah,
I
rest
like
is
it.
history.
Well, that's hilarious. And here I make a joke out of it 3 ways in the beginning. And it's like,
Yeah.
not even close. You guys should have just said, stop right there.
I like the gold thing. I
This
thought
is
that
what
was
it
pretty cool.
really is.
I liked it. You know, you're a
He
wonderful
speaks up.
bassist.
Gosh, that's great.
I
Cool,
was
man.
just gonna say, you're a wonderful bassist, by the way. You're holding it down. Your rhythm section is tight over there. You guys are doing it. So more power to you. You're doing a really great
They're
job.
awesome. Man, I was at a show one time. We were actually opening up for another band that he was playing in before we were actually playing together. And I was hanging out with Chris, and I was like, that guy right there who's playing the
Yeah.
bass. I want him.
Yeah, the band was
So-
Diamond Lake,
Yeah.
which they're really awesome. Everyone should check them out, Diamond Lake. But yeah, we were like, we want him. We want to steal him.
Yeah, and so we did.
All is fair in love and war, you guys. That's just the way it
Indeed.
goes.
Well, but you know, and that's cool. That's a great story because it's a perfect segue into an example I always use that whoever comes to a show, there's at least another name that slips out that we're going, hey, got some music? We'll play it. You know, is that you have music? Is that other band? So, yeah, okay, so it's like, no, you
So
don't
they
want.
really stole you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
We just straight up
Yeah.
stole him.
You pissed them off is what you did.
Well, you know, and I respect that because there was another crazy coincidence that one band that I won't say gave us some music initially, and then about a year later, I get an email from the guy that says, hey, we don't have that singer anymore. Could you take those songs off and put these songs on with the new singer? And it's like,
Well,
sure. you know.
okay.
I guess.
Okay.
Like I don't have enough to do, but you know, at least
Right.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we
That's
have to.
okay. We
have to
love doing what
please
we're
the
doing.
fans, right.
Exactly. And you know, a part of our fan base is the bands. So we try to adhere to what they
I
need.
get blown away every time everybody goes, "Oh yeah, I've heard that."
Yeah.
'Cause that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Heck
Yeah.
Exactly.
Y'all are
So-
doing a wonderful job.
Well, the other three shows we got in August are just going to be amazing too, and they're all three different styles too. We've had a real diverse month, and Brian Grace Brand, Brian, say that real
Blah,
fast.
blah, blah, blah.
Brian Grace Band.
Ooh,
Yeah,
tongue
no,
twister.
they're kind of an Americana country rock kind of band. I can't wait to hear them. Michael Reese
Oh,
on the 22nd. Michael Reese is a well-respected instrumental kind of fusion guitar player here in
he's
Colorado.
so good, you guys. I get the giggles when he starts playing. I
Oh.
get stupidly happy. I'm like,
Isn't that great when music can make you just feel like
Yes.
giddy and
Hey,
happy? It's like
does.
so awesome.
just
Oh,
knowing he's
he's-
coming. I'm
He's just an
stoked.
amazing guitar player, and he does a whole bunch of different diverse music. He's got like a series of 5 CDs called Guitarscapes, which are like, really soothing instrumental music. And then he's got these just killer jazz fusion efforts that this particular show that
Man.
he's doing, it's going to be with the Spirit Machine Project. And that's an album that's in rotation on the station, but it's if you like, real instrumental heavy guitar.
He's
Cool.
crazy
Yeah.
good, you guys. He's
Definitely
like,
have
one
to
of
give
the
him a
best.
check out.
man.
Yeah, and then the last Wednesday is a band that we're just hoping to learn more about named Theoretic. You guys know about Theoretic?
No, I've never heard of him. What kind of music?
Well, from what I gathered, the songs that they provided us, they're a lot like you guys. to
Oh,
tell you the
sweet.
truth.
Oh, I've not got
Well,
to
we'll
hear
have
him
to
yet.
go
You know.
check him out then.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's
Yeah.
what I do. I just look on Bandcamp and I actually troll. I'm sorry, but
That's what you're supposed
that's
to do.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how we just think that this is something that needs to be done because we're a nonprofit. So this is our nonprofit mission is
Yeah.
to get exposure for, independent artists, period. You guys, 80% of the music that we play are unsigned artists, that, even if you have, your corporate record label to write off your recording expenses, I mean, there's, we give everyone an opportunity to be heard. And like I say, it's, we when we go market the station, we say, pretty much during the day, all the way through, it's office friendly, corporate friendly. It's trendy. It's great music. It's diverse, and people are going, wow, So if you go into a coffee shop and it's like, you should check out KCOSdigitalmedia.com.
Yeah.
On internet radio, because the FCC is a little different for internet radio.
It is.
Ah,
By the way.
okay.
It is.
Very
So-
cool.
So yeah, and yeah, we've grown by word of mouth,
Yeah.
So and that's we love all the interaction that we've received in our 3rd year, with everybody coming in and this is just great music. I can't thank you
you.
enough for coming down.
I think we have enough time for them to play us out, don't you
Oh,
think?
sweet.
You know what? Yeah, how many more songs were you planning on playing?
We got 2 more if we have time.
Yes.
If that's okay.
It's your show. Take it. Let's
Sweet.
do it.
No, we really had a good time talking with you
Sweet.
guys
I had a
because
great time
you're
talking
very
with you
eloquent,
guys.
and the music is great. But no, since we own the station,
We can do whatever
play
we want.
those 2 more, and nobody ever says, "Wait a minute, no, you're breaking the code."
It's
So,
kind of like, there's your code.
I know there is. That.
The code is more like guidelines anyway, right?
Right. Well, that was my guideline, okay?
Well, once again, the numbers are evident. The numbers show up, So as long as you're entertaining people, we're on.
Sweet. Awesome.
You guys are doing the work.
I know, I'm the shy one, right? It's all good.
All right.
you again so
You
much.
did
Thank
it
you guys so
again.
much.
You guys are great. This was so much fun.
It
Heck
was.
yeah, this was so awesome. You guys have been great. We've been Motherwell. And thank you guys for watching at home. That really means a lot to me and Chris and George and Day. We really, really appreciate this opportunity to come and share our music with you guys.
You know, we're just happy to have fresh music coming continuously, you know, every week for, you know, as long as we've been doing this. It's just great that there is this much activity in the state of Colorado of amazingly good music.
Yeah.
And we encourage everybody to buy your CD on
Yeah,
all the
come,
available sources.
come support us at motherwell.bandcamp.com.
Yeah.
You can go and get our CD. It's $10. I'll ship to anywhere for free. And then if anybody's in Fort Collins tomorrow, come check us out
There
at the
you
Artery
go.
downtown with Archipelagos.
Lovely. You
Very
guys, thank
cool.
you so much. Tonight was an absolute blast.
Yeah.
Whoops.
It was way too much fun.
So do you realize what you did tonight?
Um,
No, you'll never guess.
I think we had a good time.
Well, that's the most important part. But you know, I was going to make it sound even really cooler because, you know, we're on the illusion of internet radio.
Yeah.
Okay, so really, you guys opened up for Alice Cooper because
Oh, sweet.
he's just starting his set right now.
That's right.
Awesome.
3 blocks down at the Pike Speak Center.
That's right. That's
Well,
right.
here's Alice Cooper, everybody.
Exactly. 18.
It's like, sorry, Nicole, we're leaving right now to go see Alice.
Without a doubt. He's
Chad's
cool.
going, no, you're not.
Yeah. So, you know, don't forget to maybe make a commercial, real quick one, before you guys head out tonight. And I'm thanking you guys. I really love you guys. And you want to let Shadow Man take us out?
Well, yeah.
All right, here you go.
Give it to me, Shadow Man.
Wow, what a wonderful, amazing session of The Beat Goes On. I hope everybody enjoyed this show as much as I did. It's a wonderful Wednesday, every Wednesday, right here on KCOSdigitalmedia.com. If you enjoyed this show as much as we did, I'd like you to go to our YouTube channel, Colorado Musicians Network, and hit the subscribe button. Check out some of the past shows we've done. And we'll see you next week, right here, same place, same time, at KCOSdigitalmedia.com.